forward. More down front. There you are. Oh, I'm so glad y'all are here. That'll make me smile. I was thinking of a story this week, what would go along, kind of a sermon, kind of some thoughts. And I was thinking about the story that I heard one time. I want to share with you. This is a quarter, right? And what if Brother Jason pulled up to my house with a Corvette? 1963, that's my favorite, by the way, just for future reference. But if he showed up to my house and said, "Hey, I've got a gift I want to give you. Come on outside." And I said, "Okay." And I walked outside, and there was the car, the perfect car. And he said, I just want to give that to you." I go, hold on. And I dug in my pockets, and I pulled out this shiny quarter, and I said, "Well, here you go." And he goes, "I guess thank you." And he puts it in his pocket. And I said, "Here, let's take a ride." You know, I want to show my friends, my family, my new car. And we pulled up to my family's house. "Hey, everybody come out and see this car that me and Brother Jason bought." That doesn't seem right, does it? Right? Because he bought the car. I gave him 25 cents. And it seems kind of shallow, but sometimes that's what we do. Sometimes we tell others what we did to earn eternal life. And God's going, "I paid the price in full. And all you had to do is really receive it." And we cheapen that sometimes about our acts and trying to keep a checklist. But see, everything, what it should be is I should just receive that gift. And then I should just be thankful and grateful. And what can I do? Not to earn it, because I can't earn a gift. But what I must do is out of gratitude and out of love. Not of, well, I got to. Now he bought me a car. I guess I got to do some things for him. But I should be wanting to do something kind. And our Lord, Jesus, loved us so much. He gave us the biggest gift he possibly could. He spared no expense. He sent his Son to pay for our price. And all we need to do is reach out and take that gift and to honor him with our lives. And sometimes that's hard. So let's go to the Lord and ask him to bless us in that. Father God, I thank you so much for each one here this morning, Father. May we not cheapen your gift, but may we just simply say, "God, thank you. Father, what I have is yours. I'm all in. I'm all yours." Father, I know that's just a drop in the bucket. But Father, I just want to do that not out of trying to earn my way, but Father, out of obedience and out of gratitude. Father, help us lay our lives down at your cross. Father, I thank you so much for your love in your name. Amen. Do you get quarters? No, you don't get quarters. I'm going to try this mic. I have obviously a odd-shaped head for ear one, because I have fiddled with that little mic thing for the last 15 minutes, and it just about got the best of me. So I'll have to go to the odd-shaped head mic store here soon. And keep hanging. He does that so beautifully every morning, every Sunday. He's got kicks it on, it sticks right to his face, and y'all can hear. I want to do my best. I'm not good at standing behind a lectern, so we'll do our best here this morning. But I'm excited to be here this morning, and I'm so blessed to be here, and I pray that you are too. I would ask that you pray for me, pray for this service. I was sharing with the youth Wednesday night. I said, y'all really lift up your pastor in your prayers. I've been that guy. I've been that guy at the pulpit. And believe it or not, we have ADD moments. And believe it or not, you know, we don't wake up saying one is and the heels are a lot after the sound of music. It doesn't happen that way sometimes. I'm thankful that there are days on the way here we have about a 30-minute drive,
And sometimes that's not quite long enough to get over the morning that you have. But I have a precious, precious family, and we did good this morning, so I'm not missing out on it. But I know the burden that my brother takes every Sunday. And I'll ask you to lift him up. And if you're out there, and let's just be honest, I've been out there too. If you're out there and at a moment your mind begins to wander, don't just kind of shift gears and start making a list of things and let it wander, but stop for a moment and know that that's Satan trying to pull your attention, and lift this brother up in your prayers and encourage him that God would help you hear him. And I pray that you hear his word this morning. I'm going to be reading in John 6. If you have your Bibles, and I hope you do, hope you've come to the Lord's house of prayer this morning. So if you have that on your phone, it's all right. Go ahead and turn there to John chapter 6. If you don't, we'll have it on the screen. If you will stand for the reading of God's word, John chapter 6, starting verse 1. John 6:1. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on the mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover was near. By the way, just that little part, if you've ever read that, I thought, what's that all about? That's kind of like saying, I went to Jackson, and it was the week before Christmas. Gives you a whole new connotation. Because the crowd is gathering, and people are getting prepared for the feast, and some are fasting, and there's a lot going on. That's what he's just trying to give you a picture of. Verse 5 says, when Jesus looked up and saw a crowd coming towards him, he said to Philip, where shall we buy bread for these people to eat? He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, it would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have just a bite. Another disciple, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But how far will they go among so many? Jesus said, have the people sit down. There is plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. That means overall about 20,000 people, most likely. Jesus then took the loaves and gave thanks and distributed those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fishes. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted. So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the signs Jesus performed, they began to say, surely this is the prophet who is come into the world. Father God, as I read this story, I'm in awe. I'm in awe not just of your beautiful and powerful miracle, Father, but that you planned it. God, you knew what you were going to do in ahead of time. Father, this morning, you know what you're going to do. You know what you want to do, Father. And it's up to us just to sit and to hear, and Father, and to speak your word and let you do your business. Father, as we read this story, I know that you're inviting us into your story. And I pray that you give me clear thoughts and clear words. Not for any other reason but that you may be glorified. Father, I thank you for what you're about to do this morning. In your name. Amen. You may be seated. Jeff, if you'll swap something over here, because I'm not going to stand still very long.
As I was reading that story, I love that story in so many different ways. And I was taken back to, I was a youth in my youth group, imagine that. And we had this awesome youth minister come. We had several, by the way, but we had one named Patrick. Patrick Beard actually ended up doing the wedding for me and Miss Stephanie. But he was a mentor. And I remember him coming into the youth class, and he would tell these amazing stories. Amazing stories, and it just had us captivated. And they were true life stories of things that that God had brought him through and to. And I remember him telling this story, man, good grief, I'm not even going to tell you how long ago it was. I remember him telling this story about being in college and his bicycle being stolen. I can just think of it like it was yesterday. His bicycle was stolen, and it was the day before winter break. And he said, I went to the security, and they said, man, I'm sorry to tell you, this is a big campus. It probably is gone. It's like winter break. They have taken it. It's going to be pawned. It's going to be gone, and just probably just let it go. And he said, it really bothered me. He said, I asked for some people to pray about it. He said, because that was my main use of the big campus. He said, you really needed your bicycle. And he said, I asked somebody to pray. And he said, I'll tell you what, I'll pray. But do you really believe that God can answer your prayer? And he said, well, yeah. He said, no. He said, we're going to pray. He said, if God tells you He's going to give you your bike, he said, I want you to listen. If God tells you that you'll get your bike back, I don't want you to ever say if again. I want you to say, God is. God is. He said, now I'm not talking about putting words in God's mouth and then claiming stuff. I'm just talking about, let's pray about it. He said, I prayed about it, and he said, I felt God whisper in my ear, you'll get your bike back. And he said, had a moment, and he said, I remember going, oh my goodness. And he said, I went home, and he said, people asked me, did you get your bike back? He goes, no, but I'm going to. They're like, really? Did he find it? He said, no, I prayed about it, and God's told me I'm getting it back. And he said, people were going kind of crazy, and he said, more people kept asking, and they kept asking me over and over again, and I would say, no, but I'm going to. And it just is. And he said, I remember the security guard asking me, he said, this is going to be embarrassing if you don't find your bike. He said, I'm just telling you, you're going to be embarrassed because God is about to give me my bike back. Because I served, and he's told me. It was just kind of cool. And he said, that same security guard was a guy that called me. He said that the last day of fall break, nobody was supposed to be on the campus at all. They were closing house. He said, you won't believe this. He said, you found my bike. It's not just, he said, we had a whole wing of the dorms, the electricity went out, lost all the power. And he said, we began to look to see where the breaker box was. And we realized it was in this one group of rooms. And we went in those rooms, and he said, we looked again, and he said, it's in that specific room. So we went in that specific room. He said, and we opened the closet door where it was, and there's his bike. He said, man, that's just amazing. And he said, what kind of faith does it take? And I remember listening to this story of this very life. And I've read all kinds of Bible stories and going, oh, okay, that's good stories. That's good. But for the first time I heard someone speak of conviction, I remember him telling me, he didn't have a TV. That's what's wrong. He broke. First off, it was. But he was like, no, God's kind of laid on my heart. I said, well, where's that in your Bible? It doesn't say my Bible not to have a TV. And he said, no, it's just, I feel like God's convicting my heart and saying, that's a distraction. And there's better ways to spend my time. And I was like, conviction? What's conviction? See? So that's God's word in action. That was the first time I'd seen it. Not just like words on a white page, but it was life in action. And I remember going, I want a story. I want a story. I want to step out on faith. I want to believe God's word. And I don't want to just tell old stories. I want to tell new stories about what God is doing in my life. And God does. He works in our life every day. And this morning we're going to read a story, as we read this story about the little boy that steps onto the page. And I want to kind of pick this apart real quick. We're going to run through this fairly quickly. I pray it touches you, because it touches me to see this little boy. He steps up to the plate, and he gives us three things that he did that incorporated him into the story. That a little boy, a very little boy, walked onto the playing field and got written into our word in multiple Gospels about his story, about him offering the fishes and loaves. He was incorporated into God's story. See, this morning, what does it take to be invited into his story? his story. Because he has a story. He wants you to be involved. But as you read this story, first thing I love, by the way, this morning, just as a side note, I was praying, I said, God, you know, I'm excited about what you're going to say, and I'm excited about what you're going to do. I'm a little nervous. And he said, did you see that part where he said, I've got to underline my notes, says, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. God is not surprised. And he already has in mind what he wants to do here this morning and in your life. But I love that everyone in this picture is focused on what is not enough. They don't have enough. They don't have enough food. Matter of fact, even when they bring the little boy, he doesn't say he has 2 loaves of fish. He says it's too small or little. Everything is about what you don't have. What you don't have. But first off, the little boy was there. I love that. It's just the obvious point of this sermon is that he was there. He was present. The little boy, now think about it. We're having a crusade. When I was a little boy, and my mom turned on the TV and Billy Graham was on, but Flippers on, Mom, come on. Gilligan's Island, I'm telling my age. But I was like, anything but preaching. Oh my gosh. Now I'm the dad that listens to preaching every morning. Oh, boys go, please turn on some Caleb, Dad. But I remember doing that as a kid, going, oh my goodness, we have a crowd of people. And we have a little boy that showed up. No doubt he had the chance to be somewhere else. He could have been playing ball or skip. I don't know what they did back that time. They just throw rocks. I don't know. But they could have been anywhere doing anything else. But he was there. He was there. He was there. There's a power in presence. There's a power in proxy. Where you are, there's a power. I remember as my mom, I was not great in basketball. I got better. But I was pitiful. It was just sad. I was the only freshman that didn't quit. The coach just ran us till we all passed out or other things happened to our body until everybody quit. And then he said he wouldn't make any of us quit. But he called me in and said, Rowland, yes sir. I really appreciate you hadn't quit and all this stuff, but you know you're not going to get played this year. I don't have enough jerseys. So maybe you just, like everybody else, kind of come back next year. I'm going, Coach, if it's okay with you, I just want to be here. I want to learn. I want to get better. So you just know you're not going to play. And I said, yes, sir, I understand. But I want to get better. And he ran it some more, and I literally fell out a few times, had nosebleeds, other things happened. It was not pretty. And I know they're going, oh, Roland, just stay down. Stay down. Go away. And I just wouldn't go away. And I think that was powerful. I remember my mom would show up to games, and I remember one time I at least had a moment of clarity. As Mom, probably you realize I'm not playing. I don't have a jersey. And she said, but just in case, I want to be there. Just in case, I want to be there. And I know that some of you come here every Sunday and you're going, Brother Danny, I come and it's hot, it's cold, and it doesn't always just kind of boom hit me in the face. It's been a while, and God's going, no, I need you to be there, just in case. My spirit moves. You don't miss that opportunity. I need you here. There's a power in presence. As a pastor, I remember the first time that I was laying in bed, and I had been in the hospital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that Thursday, we knew it was down to the wire. And I was there at about midnight. We were thinking, he's going to pass, he's going to pass, he's going to pass. And he'd been a song leader in years. He'd done it 20 plus years. But he used to be the song leader, and he hadn't even been in the dark of the door because he couldn't because of his health. The whole time I was pastor there. And I stayed, and the people started milling, but preacher, go home. Preacher, go home. Thank you for coming, but go home. We don't know how long it'll be. I said, well, you call me. I'll be right back. I said, okay, we will. And I went home. About 3 in the morning, the phone rang. Yes, I'm on my way. And I got up. I started putting my clothes on. I remember Stephanie going, it's Mr. Oliver. Yes, it is. What are you going to say? Not got to be there, but I need to be there. I want to be by them. And I prayed all the way there going, God, I just buried my dad up for years ago, and it was hard, and this is so close. This is under my skin, and I don't feel comfortable in this situation, but they need me there, and God, I want to be there for him. And I don't know what to say. And God said, be there. Be there. Be present. And I'll give you the words. And I remember walking to the door, and they hugged my neck, and I hugged their neck. We had a sweet moment, and everybody's gathered around their bed, and it was this awkward sadness. And I looked up around and said, would it be weird if we sang something? And I was, that's a wonderful idea. And there in ICU, we gather around and we sing praises to the Lord until someone said, he's gone. He's gone. There's a power in presence. God will give you that moment. But be there. Be here. Be there for him. The little boy was there in the place. And sometimes we get so caught up in the little things in life, we get distracted. I've been reading a book, or I finished a book a couple times. It's called Leaning on Empty. It's about a pastor that burns out. He said, I came to realize, he said, I did a lot of research, I realized that 50% of what all of us do, somebody else could do. Matter of fact, anybody else could do. 50% of what you and I do, anybody can do. Anybody can take down the trash. Anybody can put gas in the gas tank. Anybody can write a check. Anybody can do it. He said 40% of what you do, someone trained can do that. Otherwise, if you pull somebody aside and you stand there and go, this is how I balance my book, and this is how I do my job, and make sure you do this and whatnot. 40%. Only 10% of what we do, only we can do. No one else can take responsibility for your physical health. You can hire trainers, you can get a membership, you can get several memberships. You can do whatever, but unless you decide, unless you do something about it, you can't do anything about it. You just won't. You're in control there. No one else can love my children and my family like me. I can't be replaced. No one can help your spiritual relationship with Christ but you. You can show up to places, you can go to retreats, you can do all kinds of things, and those are good things. Those are tools that God will use, but only you can make that decision. Only you can step up to the plate. Only you can lay your life down in front of a holy God and say, God, I'm not enough, but what I've got is yours. Only you. But many of us place the emphasis on those other things. We work too much. We don't have any margin. We get frustrated with little ones and with life, and we snap at the ones we love because we've not created enough margin. Why? Because we've emphasized that 50 and 40%, and we've worked too long, worked too hard, we spread too thin, and then we take it out on the ones we love. Most of us don't wake up late on Monday morning for work and go, I guess I won't take a shower today and walk and have a quiet time, do we? Let's be honest. Most of us, we go through the shower, we go through our routine, and hey, if I get to this before I get out the door, but God goes on the back burner. And that's wrong. That's wrong. Be present. Don't drop the ball. Be there. Be there. No one else can fill your shoes. No one else can grow your relationship with God. Secondly, not only be there, but be willing. I love this little boy. I love his story that as he's standing in the crowd, and they go, he just hears some mumblings. Did you say food? Food? And he goes, I got food. You can't tell me he was the only person there that had food. Can't do it. Right? 5,000 people, one person brought food. Really? Not so much. They were not Baptist. But we know how to eat. And one person, he said, I'm willing. There's no way. He had faith of a child that no matter how small what he had, that somebody could use it. He didn't see how short he was. He was just willing to do what he could. God knows your limitations. I love as we circled around last Sunday, as we shared, as they shared about the mission trip, I heard time and time again, God does not care about your ability, but your availability. Your willingness to step out. Do you really think, here's a side note, do you really think that God needed those five loaves and 2 fishes? The God of the universe that created something out of nothing? Do you think he was going, man, I really need, if somebody can just give me 5 loaves, I think I can make this happen. No. The guy, he could, done, serve it. But he wanted someone that was willing. His first miracle was water into wine. We don't talk about that in Baptist Church. But he did. Why did he have to start with water? Why could he just say, I need 5 jars? Woo! Why? Go. Because he needs us to be willing. He wants us to be willing. I shouldn't say need. He wants us to be willing to step up and go, I'll be obedient. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And stop looking at our limitations and saying, God, I don't have much. What you have, I'll give to you. And he just needs someone who's willing. Willing to do whatever it takes, no matter how large or how small. But little is much in the hands of the Master. Little is much in the hands of the Master. Be faithful. Be ready. Be willing. I love that. The little boy, again, everybody's standing around and he goes, I got this. And I can see people going, ooh, that's not much. I don't have anything for it. Because in the previous chapters, he said, don't take a purse, don't take extra shoes, don't take food. This is what he's got. I love it. He doesn't see that it's not enough, or it just, in the eyes of a child, faith of a child, I don't have much of what I've got, I'll give. See, if it were me, if I were finishing the story, it would have been a George Bailey moment, right? It's a Wonderful Life. Where everybody goes, well, I got 5, well, I got 10, and then we just pile up. That's what we do in the Baptist. We just have an altar call, and people bring the food and money. That's what we do in the Baptist church. But I love that Jesus goes, no, I'll take it. One person steps up, and at that moment, he gets written into his story. Because he was willing. Because he was present, because he was willing. Last one. Some of y'all just got excited when I said that, didn't you? Be generous. Be generous. He could have easily said, well, I got 5. I can make do with 2. If I give them 3, I can still make it home and not be too starving. He could have. And that would have been above everyone else what they did. But he didn't. He said, what I've got, I lay at your feet. What I've got, I will lay at your feet, God. He could have held back, but he gave all. So if you want to be written in his story, if you want a story to tell, be there, be willing, and be generous. The question is why. Some of us this morning, maybe you're saying, Brother Danny, I hear you, and those Christians, yeah, they should do that, but I'm not sold into all this stuff, and yeah, maybe I should do better about the family thing. That was a good point. I'll write that down. But why? I'm doing pretty good about myself, I think. Why? Why should you pledge your life? Why should you bring what you've got and lay it at his feet? First off, because he's there. Jesus is there. Psalms 4 says, God is my refuge, my strength, my ever-present trouble. He's my rock, my refuge. See, God is present. He's always there. Even when you can't be there. I learned early in youth ministry, I remember getting very, very overwhelmed because the phone calls would come and the needs would come and I was pouring my heart. I was trying to be there. Let's be honest, you can't always be there. Brother Jason, you can't always be there. Church, you can't always be there. You do your best. Because you hear story after story after story about pastors that run themselves crazy and then their family falls apart. What good are they doing? And it's hard. It's hard. But Jesus is always there. And at some point God says, Danny, You're not me. You're not supposed to be me. You're to point them to me. When I need you, you be me to them. But I'm always present. I'm always on time. I'll be there even when you can't be there. I'm present. He's willing. He is willing. 2 Peter 3:9 says, but his long suffering is towards us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Not willing that any should perish. He's willing. He's standing here this morning. He's knocking on your door. Maybe you don't know what's going on. Maybe your heart, you feel a little jittery. You go, oh, maybe my blood sugar's low. No, that's the Holy Spirit going, I'm willing, and I'm knocking on your door. And you'll never be enough. You feel short. You feel like you're falling short. You feel like your coworkers and your family, and you don't feel like you can get enough for anybody. You can't on your own. You'll never be enough. But I'm your enough. I'll be your enough. And He's generous. Oh my goodness. He sent His Son. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Luke 6:38 says, give, and it will be given to you a good measure. He didn't say, give, and He'll give you a little. No. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It'll pour into your lap. For with the measure you use, it'll be measured to you. We have a generous God. They didn't send a second-rate prophet to die for us. He sent His one and only Son. He held nothing back. He was generous. I couldn't help but think, I'm going to close with this story. I had a young lady share her story, and it broke my heart. And I asked, can I share that story? Please. This young lady that got married right out of high school and worked hard, was working 40-plus hours. She was beautiful. Young lady worked hard at keeping herself looking pretty, and was married, and then 2 kids, and working hard, turning their meager situations into a home, and decorated, and everything on the PTO, and going to all the games, and all that parenting thing, and trying to be the good wife, and everything was going, seemed like things were going really good, and then she got a call and said, hey, I hate to tell you this, but your husband is cheating on you. And she was devastated, and she's aware. They told her, and she went herself and took the pictures and was right there and went home and she had her words in true redneck fashion. I began to put all his stuff on the front porch. And she said, I was so ready, I was so angry to go, you sorry so-and-so, and you miss out, what I've done, and what have you done? And I wanted to lay into him and tell him how horrible he was. She said, and when he got to the house, she said, my lip began to quiver. And all I could get at was, why was I not enough? Why was I not enough? Why was I not enough? She said, I wanted to be so angry, but all I could be was so hurt. And I wonder this morning if our Father in heaven, who's done everything possible to build a bridge from Him to us in our horrible state, and we're still grabbing at hobbies and out of our money and our relationships, and we're grabbing for everything else, trying to make sense of our life. And He's going, why am I not enough for you? I want to invite you into my story. I want to show you my presence. I'm willing to invite you into my story. And I want to be generous to you. And I'm enough for you. He is enough for us. Are you ready to bring to bring what you have, no matter what it is, no matter how great or how small? There are those here this morning that say, Brother Danny, you don't know my past. You don't know how messed up I am. You don't know what I've gone through. That's true. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I have a few examples. We have Noah. Noah was a drunk. Abraham was too old. Isaac had ADD. He was probably ADD. He was a daydreamer. Jacob was a liar. Leah was ugly. Joseph was abused. Moses had a stuttering problem. Gideon was afraid. Samson had long hair and he was a womanizer. Rahab was a prostitute. Jeremiah was too young. David was an adulterer and a murderer, and yet a man after God's own heart. Elijah was suicidal. Jonah ran from God. Naomi was a widow. John the Baptist, he was weird. You read what he wore and what he ate? Some wild man. Peter denied Christ. All the disciples fell asleep, and they ran away when Jesus needed him most. Martha worried about everything. She was a warrior. No, none of you are warriors. Keep moving. The Samaritan woman was divorced several times. Mary Magdalene was demon-possessed. Zechariah was too small. And Paul, the author of the majority of the New Testament, was a Christian killer. God says, that's my specialty. You got to be messed up to come to him. And we're all messed up. We're all not enough. And he's willing. He's wanting to invite you into his story today. He wants you to lay what you got at his feet and say, God, this is a drop in the bucket. I'm a mess. Come as you are. Come as you are. Let's go, Lord, in prayer. Father God, thank you so much for that reminder this morning that we'll never be enough, but you are always more than enough. Father, you see our shortcomings, and yet you're not surprised. Father, you are calling us where we are. You're calling us into a story, not in just to religion or a bunch of do's and don'ts, Father. You're calling us into a relationship full of adventure and of stories and compassion, of perspective. Father, I pray for that person this morning that will come. Say, Father, I'm a mess. Please turn me into a message that someone may read someday and be inspired, because I know me and I'm a mess. Father, give us courage to let go of our past and take a step towards you. Just one step. Just one willing person. Father, we're present here this morning. Help us be willing